Here's a shot of the moon, one of the few lights around here at this point. We're at the Desert National Wildlife Refuge. It is approximately 5 a.m. And there you're looking toward Las Vegas. You can see the lights of Las Vegas. You can see also, let's move around this way. Here's the headquarters of the Desert National Wildlife Refuge. And here is the beast. You can't see it at all. Looking straight toward the Mount Charleston area. You see a little light up there in the distance? That's Angel Peak. And the goal is off in this direction. See that light? That car is on the road I'm going to be on shortly. And to the right of that car is Gas Peak. And what we're going to do is we're going to go from the Desert National Wildlife Headquarters to over Gas Peak and then down to Rainbow Avenue, the end of Rainbow Avenue in Las Vegas on foot. So let's see how that goes today and the timing. Actually, to be exact, it's 5:25 right now. And let's begin. Okay, we're closing in on Gas Peak Road. And here is a shot of Gas Peak, our goal, or at least our midpoint. That's the summit. And you see the mid-summit and the western summit. So eastern summit, mid-summit, and western summit. Let's see what else we can see around here. As the sun is beginning to rise, there's the silhouette of Fossil Ridge. And then here is the silhouette of the Sheep Range. A little more than a silhouette at this point. Now we're circling around to the Mount Charleston Wilderness. Mummy Mountain right in the center. Mount Charleston, Fletcher Peak, Griffith Peak. Then we move over to the La Madre Mountains. And now we're looking down into the lights of Las Vegas. Early Saturday morning, the last Saturday in October. The day before Halloween. And then circling around again. And here we are at Gas Peak. So we're just about at Gas Peak Road. And continuing onward. Here we go. And now you can see the road we're on. This is Mormon Well Road, approaching the cutoff with Gas Peak Road. Here's the Mount Charleston Wilderness in the sunrise. Basically even with Gas Peak Road. Look at that. Just want to show you these sunrise shots in the midst of this Joshua tree forest. It's pretty awesome. And there you can see over to the La Madre Mountains Wilderness. And looking around in this direction, you can see the first light just reaching the tip of the Sheep Range. Then we look in this direction. We're seeing the western edge of the Fossil Ridge. And then here's Gas Peak, our goal. We definitely have a ways to go, but we're just getting started. Then panning around. Here's a shot of the Las Vegas Strip. I don't know how much you can see in this light, but there's the Strip. And then back around. To La Madre Mountain. And you can you see El Padre also? I think you can also see El Padre. La Madre is on the right, the high point. El Padre is just to the left of La Madre. And then in the sunrise, Griffith Peak. Mummy Mountain. Can't see Charleston Peak right now. And then over in this direction, you're seeing the Bonanza Trail area, that ridge system. And McFarland Peak, I think, is just to the left of this Joshua tree. And then Bonanza Peak would be not too far beyond. It might be that next high point right over the tip of the Joshua tree. So there you have it. Sunrise on the way to Gas Peak. And again, here is our goal. You see the three summits of Gas Peak. The eastern summit, which is on the left. Mid summit. I call the mid summit the little saddle between that bump in the middle and the bump on the right, which is the western summit. Okay, we got a long ways to go. Continuing on. Gas Peak Road. I hope that 16 miles doesn't mean the beginning of the trailhead, or it was going to be a lot longer than I thought it was. Okay, onward. We've continued to rise. It's been about 3 hours. There you see Fossil Ridge. The Mount Charleston Wilderness. There's Mummy Mountain. And you can even see the tip of Mount Charleston to the left of Mummy Mountain. And right over this Joshua tree is Griffith Peak. There are the La Madre Mountains. And then now we're looking toward Gas Peak. And we're going to summit the eastern summit. There it is. We are closing in on it just a bit. Seems not, but yeah, we're getting closer. And here we're going to skirt the upper ridge. This is what I call the Gas Peak Gauntlet. This section right here. We skirt this, and then we descend right in this saddle, right down the saddle. There's the descent. There's the Gas Peak Gauntlet. And there is the summit. So, as I said, we've got quite a ways to go, but we're closing in on it. Sun's still rising. Let's pan along Fossil Ridge here. One of these days we'll take Fossil Ridge from the east side down the west side, and we'll just go right along the top of that ridge. But not today. And then, if you look carefully, you can see the Desert National Wildlife Refuge where we began 3 hours ago. So we've come a long way. If we're looking at a straight line, we're probably more than halfway to the summit. So, what we're going to do, we're just going cross country. We left the road, and we're going to see if we can connect with the main trail somewhere ahead, because we need to hit that main trail in order to get to the summit of Gas Peak. But we're taking this cross-country route because hopefully it's shortening the distance. Okay, onward. Well, definitely a lot closer to Gas Peak. There it is, right up there. I've been wandering around these hills, up, down, up, down. I want to get to that ridge in the distance. And so what I might do is head down and then up and then just over to the ridge. I think the trail's on that ridge. So I'll do that and then either head up. Yeah, I think I might head up rather than head back. So, but those are the two choices. And I believe that in the distance there parking area or close to it for the Gas Peak main trail. So let's continue to look around. Definitely the sheep range is opening up. Let's see what time it is or what altitude it is. Yeah, we're about at 5,500 feet. There you see the sheep range. And then more in the foreground is Fossil Ridge. And the valley that goes down to Las Vegas. And above it is the Mount Charleston Wilderness. And then looking at the side of Gas Peak, I should have stayed on the main road. I ate up too much time on these hills. So now I've got to decide whether I'm going to continue on up or head down. I want to see if I can at least get up to this ridge up ahead. Let's at least give that a try and see if that's where the trail is. Okay, so here we are. We don't know exactly where, but we are definitely closer to Gas Peak than when we started. amazing what a break can do for you. I decided I'm going to go for it. There is the summit, and I see my ridge right up this ridge up to that point in the center, and hopefully then I can just traverse the upper ridge up to the summit. So we're going to give it a try. Hopefully I'll find the trail when I get up to that high point right in the center. If I find there's a major barrier and I have to go down a deep canyon then back up, I may turn around, but I don't know. Let's give it a try. Well, the surprising good news is that before I even reach that high point, it looks as if I'm on some type of trail. I don't think this is the main trail, but I think it's another trail that will lead to the same place, the summit. I just need to get up to that ridge and then traverse over to the summit. So right in the center is the summit. So let's continue on this surprising little trail. News, I'm at that high point, and guess what? The main trail is right here. No downhill to speak of to get to that trail. And well, it's just, it means that I'm 900 feet from the summit. I've got a good trail all the way to the summit. And so what this means is that I am more than halfway at this point. So I will make the entire Gas Peak Grand Crossing over to Rainbow Avenue, because at this point it's the route of least resistance rather than turning around and trying to retrace my steps. So that is really good news. So here we are. We're going to go to the trail and then just take the trail right along this ridge up to the summit of Gas Peak. Here we go. Real trail. I have connected with the trail and I'm continuing on up. And here you see the ridge we were looking at earlier. And there, about 500 feet below where I am vertically, is the summit. So yes, we will truly make Gas Peak Summit today. And then the quickest way down is back to Rainbow Avenue, which means that we're going to be doing the Grand Crossing. And here you see the, oh, you can see the tip of the Charleston Wilderness. We'll see a better view up on top. And you see Fossil Ridge and the Sheep Range stretching out down here below us. And pretty much the Gas Peak Road, you can see the ribbon of Gas Peak Road down there. So yeah, and then looking over in this direction, the Muddy Mountains. Can't see Lake Mead yet, but we will soon if it's not too hazy. And what else do we see? Oh, well, there's a little bit of Henderson area, Las Vegas. But we'll see a lot more of these when we hit the summit of Gas Peak, which is truly one of the most incredible views anywhere near Las Vegas. Okay, here we go. Okay, we're closing in on the summit of Gas Peak. It's got to be no more than a couple hundred feet above us. Whoa! Look at this. There's Las Vegas. What a view. One of the best views of Las Vegas from anywhere. Okay, let's continue on up to the top and see more of that view. Quick 360. Fossil Ridge and the sheep range behind it. And then you can see the road system down below, Gas Peak Road. Okay, let's go on to the summit. Closing in on the summit. We're basically there. Just need to top this little hill and we'll be on the summit. In the meantime, look around us. Totally awesome. There's Las Vegas. We'll get a better look when we get to the very summit. Just right up here. Here we go. Let's do a quick 360 from the summit of Gas Peak. It's Mount Charleston Wilderness. Here is the Gas Peak Gauntlet. So that's going to be interesting. We'll see all about that really soon. There's Fossil Ridge down below and the sheep range above. Muddy Mountains. Cannot see Lake Mead from here, but what do we have down below here? Now that could be part of Lake Mead. And it looks like Frenchman Mountain right down here. Or it may actually be further over, like down there. I think that's more likely. And then let's zoom in on the strip. Las Vegas Strip. And the tower. Communications tower on Gas Peak. And then again, the Gas Peak Gauntlet. And wow, there is, that bluff right in the center. We're going to be on the right side of the bluff, and that's quite the avalanche slope. Huge boulders. We'll see that when we get there. And so this is the Gas Peak Gauntlet, this next stretch. Okay, onward. Here's a much better perspective of the Las Vegas area from the summit of Gas Peak. Lake Mead, Frenchman Mountain in the foreground. Looking down in the Las Vegas city, and there's the Strip. Here's the gun range. You may be able to hear them. The triangular shaped. Potosi Mountain. There's Mount Wilson in there. The Rainbow Mountains. And then moving in this direction. In the center, La Madre Mountains. And then the Mount Charleston Wilderness. And another shot of the Gas Peak Gauntlet. We're about ready to tackle the gauntlet. So there you have it. Las Vegas from Gas Peak. Good on the Gas Peak Gauntlet. And I just need this little ridge in the foreground, and then I'm going to wind my way around the lower side of that avalanche slope and then circle around right in this little saddle. And then head on up to the mid-summit. And then it's easy going after that, but this is a bit of a challenge. Pretty loose, pretty much loose rocks here, and very steep. So here we go, and then here's the view. Just past this area, around the left side of the cliff there. And then looking down and around the sheep range area. And there you have it. Here we go, straight ahead. So far so good. It's just a case of weaving around various obstacles. Sometimes you need to go to the right of an obstacle, sometimes to the left, but you can make it. And then there is a very, very faint pathway that appears and disappears to help guide you also when you're trying to figure out whether to go to the left side of the next barrier or the right side of the next barrier. So it's a little easier than it looks. Not a lot easier, but a little easier. Okay, onward. Now for the most serious part of the Gas Peak Gauntlet. You see this large bluff in the center of Gas Peak. Somehow we need to skirt the avalanche slope. So we want to end up right over here and then just take the base of this little saddle mountain to the left, and then we pretty much made it. But we've got this. And so anyway, yeah, here we go, the Gas Peak Gauntlet. We just came down this loose rock section. I only wiped out once, and that wasn't too bad actually. Didn't lose control totally. I just lost my footing. And now we head along this area, and I can't show you much more from this position, but yeah, we're going to go right up here, and then we'll be able to see the next section. And that's pretty much how it is here. You go section by section. You don't know what's ahead totally. and you just have to trust that you can handle it. And you can, but it's certainly touch and go. And here is the sheep range. We were down there not too long ago, navigating the canyons and ridges on our way to the trail. And we were up in this spot, seems like a while ago, because every step has been very, very careful and measured, and making sure that I'm on solid, well, there's no solid ground here, but at least that that I'm on a spot that is relatively stable, at least for the next 30 seconds. No, more like the next 5 seconds or 2 seconds. Okay, onward. Okay, there's the opening we're looking for. Right there. Boy, this is slow going. I think I descended too far, so I'm going to need to reascend a little bit and then head along that edge over to the saddle. Just to give you an idea of the look of the land around here. Yeah, we have skirted this whole cliff area so far. There's the summit. And definitely slow going. We'll be looking for the semblance of a pathway along the edge of this avalanche slope here. And I think I see something, but wow, it appears and disappears and then ends in a lot of loose rock and a steep drop off. So it's still a little touch and go till we get to the saddle over here. Okay, onward. Okay, I think I shot it too low again. I need to be up on that ridge, and it looks like there's a better passageway up here just above that point. And so I'm going to take that passage, and hopefully once I get up on that ridge, then I'll have an easy downhill and we'll see the next portion of the adventure. And then here's the 360 of where I am. And there's the summit of Gas Peak. There we go. And you can see the area that from between the summit and here that we have traversed. So now let's go up a little bit, see if we can get over to this ridge up here, and then head down the ridge and see if that should take us right where we need to be. Here we go. Okay, now I can see the end point here on this ridge where we begin to descend. And it's right in this area, and there is the descent ridge. So I just need to get down to this area, and I need to skirt the left side of this rock formation. That'll put me on the western part of the ridge, I call it the mid-ridge of Gas Peak. And here's the look of where we've come from, skirting our way along this avalanche slope area, which I call the Gas Peak Gauntlet. And I think the worst of the gauntlet is finished. So we'll see. I just need to work my way down now to this area down here, and then take a left and skirt the left side of that rock down there. Get on to the western ridge right here. Okay, here we go. Okay, it's pretty windy. I don't know if anyone can hear me, but I am now at the point where there's my cairn, marking the return ridge. There's the return ridge, straight down toward those rocks ahead. And return canyon at the base of the ridge. And then there's a road at the bottom of that canyon. Okay, I'm going to get down on the ridge. The wind will disappear because it's all coming from the other direction. And then just give the strategy for the return trip. Here we go. The ridge goes pretty fast. It's steep, but not as bad as the area, the Gas Peak Gauntlet. This is pretty much a downhill. That rocky section you saw from the top, here it is from below, and you skirt the east side, the side pointing toward the Gas Peak summit. And about in the middle of that rocky section, there's a clear way to get down and skirt the east side of that. Then looking around, we're almost at the bottom here. And what I mean by the bottom is where it turns into a fairly nice gravel trail. And from there, we'll meet up with a road and take the road a lot of the way back. So there's the sheep range, by the way, and so the wilderness part of this that's uncharted and along avalanche slopes is all but over. It's just this little section here, and then the gravel road and good, fairly good roads the rest of the way back. So here we go. Okay, this little section at the base of that ridge is pretty deep gravel. Somebody graded this pretty well. And so I descend this, and then it's going to meet up with a road very soon. And then looking back up the ridge, there's the canyon that we've been descending. And, oh, by the way, yeah, that high point up there, that's the ridge where I had that cairn. And the rock here is on the ridge, and we took the left side when we hit that rock. And then it really plunged, so you got to watch your footing. But then it gets down to this fairly nice surface, and it's pretty quick going now. Okay, here we go. Another look at the canyon we just descended. I call it the Western Approach Canyon, for lack of a better name. And now, here we are. This path has now become a road that will skirt the base of Gas Peak. When we get to the west side of that base, we'll circle around, head through a pass, and end up with a straight shot toward Centennial Hills. So here we go. 360. Yeah, this is a road, but it's definitely a four-wheel drive road, and so it wouldn't make good with the two-wheel drive. But as a trail, it's awesome. Okay, and let's take a look around. There's Gas Peak. Of course, you can't see the summit from here. Here's the road I've been coming down. And there's Fossil Ridge and the Sheep Range. And a couple close-ups. The end of Fossil Ridge. If you look carefully, you can see a little road. That's Gas Peak Road. And I was not exactly on the road, but I was paralleling that road around the end of Fossil Ridge this morning at the first light. So yeah, it's been a long day. Okay, let's take a look. Yeah, again, the Sheep Range, Fossil Ridge, the end of Fossil Ridge, and Gas Peak Road. There's the Mount Charleston Wilderness. And here in the sunset, pretty interesting. I'm not sure what that is. Indian Springs, maybe? Snow Mountain? Golf course? A lot of water traps there. Okay, so let's continue down and we'll hit that pass and then shoot straight for Centennial Hills. Here we go. Okay, now we see our target. See that area that looks like a chunk has been taken out of the residential area. We will end on the right side of that chunk. So we'll just navigate that right side of the chunk to the end of Rainbow Avenue. And here we are. You can see Lone Mountain in the distance there, right in the center. Potosi Mountain. What else? La Madre Mountains. And here's Castle Rock. And then looking back up toward, up the Las Vegas Valley. There's a bit of the Sheep Range. Here's the road that we've been on. Definitely four-wheel drive, but great for walking and running. And then here's Gas Peak. This is the western side of Gas Peak. So there you have it. And beeline for this chunk out of the residential area, which is the end of our journey, the Gas Peak Grand Crossing. Okay, as we're closing in on our destination, here's a good shot of the strip in the sunset. You can actually make out each of the buildings there. And our destination, straight down in this direction. And the mountains behind are my landmarks because that space there, that chunk that's taken out of the residential area will disappear as I get closer. Okay, and then 360, Mount Charleston Wilderness, La Madre Mountains Wilderness, Potosi Mountain, there's Castle Rock. There's the gap between Castle Rock and Gas Peak. We just passed through that. And then here's Gas Peak. And there is the summit we were on just a bit ago. Okay, completing the 360. You can see Frenchman Mountain, tip of Frenchman Mountain in the sunset. I think I've got another good hour of light here. So I believe that I will finish this in the light, but that's to be seen. Here we go. Likely this will be the last video. As the light is waning, I'm going to show you my landmarks. So you see those two mountains right in the center, and the two lines of cars and the lights right in the center. That's my runway. And so I'm going to keep focusing right on that direction, and that should take me home even if it's dark. And so let's take a look at the 360-degree view. La Madre Mountains, Mount Charleston Wilderness, all fading. Castle Rock, the gap between Castle Rock and Gas Peak, we passed through that. Here's Gas Peak. You can see the three summits. The one on the right, the high one on the right, is the true summit. Circling around, a lot of open desert. There's Frenchman Mountain. And here's the strip, just starting to light up. Las Vegas Strip. And then looking back to my runway here, the two mountains right in the center, and the two roads and the two lights right in the center. That is my runway, even if I lose all light. And I'd say probably 45 minutes will get me there. Okay, we better keep going. A shot of this sunset over the Mount Charleston wilderness. And you can see between Griffith Peak and Mummy Mountain. And then to the left, over La Madre Mountain. What an amazing sunset. And it's only going to last a little while, but I had to catch it. Well, believe it or not, here we are. The end of Rainbow Avenue. All the way from the Desert National Wildlife Refuge headquarters. And we pretty much nailed it. All the way back. There's the entrance to Silverstone Estates. Now for the hardest part of the journey, making the combination gate work. And it's Halloween tomorrow. Here's the palms at Silverstone. And my gate. And there's some Halloween decorations. Pretty cool. And so here we are, home. And here we are home. What an adventure. The Gas Peak Grand Crossing. I'd show you Gas Peak, except it's pretty dark. So you can see the neighborhood. And we are home.